What's going on, everybody? It's Teams of Sharks here. We got Quinn and we got Dan. Today we're going to be bringing you our first ever card review, and it's going to be on the new Victor support that was just announced yesterday.
Alright, I'm pretty excited for this new Victor support. It's good to see Nova Grapplers finally getting some love from Bushiroad.
Yeah, I think they got some much needed stuff with these three cards.
Yeah, absolutely. So to start us off, we're gonna go over Extreme Battler Jerohawk. It's a grade 1 rare, and its ability is Generation Break 1 on the rearguard circle. Counterblast 1. Put this unit into your soul. At the end of the battle, that it boosts the rearguard. If your Vanguard's Victor, obviously, you can pay that cost, and if you do, you draw one, stay on the rearguard that boosted, it gets power plus 2.
Mm-hmm. And if you guys are a little confused, we just have the abilities on our iPads here so we can see them while doing the video.
And for you guys, you can see the ability, Ba-Bam.
Ba-Bam, right on the screen, yeah.
That's a pretty good card. It's certainly enables some more attacks in that deck. After it boosts, just toss it in the soul, just, I don't know.
I mean, it's kind of like the old starter that they were using, and you could kind of compare it to Transit Dragon from Gear Chronicle, or that one card from Narukami that just, it nets you a card after it's done boosting, but this is actually even better because it stands a rearguard and draws you a card. And from what I've been hearing, everyone's problem with Victor is that it doesn't have enough draw power, which is why they had to run 6 draw triggers, and I think with the new stuff, what we've seen so far, they could go down to 4 draw triggers, maybe less if they wanted to. What would you rate this card out of 10?
To be honest, I don't really know the deck that much, but this just looks like an all-around solid card. Like, it's good, just early game, mid game, and if you're going for that final push, I think it's pretty good. I'd give it maybe an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I definitely run 4 of this card, and I think I would give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it's certainly up there.
It does what the deck wants to do. It gives you an extra attack.
I need to see some more of what the newer support does, but this is a good indication of what's to come, that's for sure.
Yep, and we'll move on to the next card here, and I'll talk about this one. It's the grade 3 triple rare. We got Zubato Battler Victor, or Zubat Battler Victor in English, which is a little ridiculous, but...
Just a little extending Cold Dragon.
Extending Cold Dragon. And I'll go over the skill right now. Counterblast 1, when your G unit stride, you may pay the cost. If you do, draw a card. Choose a card from your hand, call it to a rearguard circle. Choose one of your units, and until end of turn, it gets once per turn when it attacks. Choose one of your other rearguards and stand it.
But there's more to that skill. The second ability is on the Vanguard Circle. It's an auto ability. At the end of your turn, if the number of face-up cards in your damage zone is 1 or less, countercharge 1. If the number of cards in your soul is 1 or less, soul charge 1. If you have a countercharge and soul charge, draw a card.
Sorry everyone, I forgot to read it.
I don't know if it's really situational. If the number of cards in your damage zone is 1 or less, I don't really see anybody. I don't know.
Well, the deck is also really countercharge heavy.
Yeah.
And I think our good friend Derek, he would run that, I forgot what it's called, the card from like set 2, I think, where when you call it, you just unflip one. Like you run that just because you need the unflip so bad.
Right. Now this just seems like it's really geared towards the early game, and I think that there's better options.
Well, with the other 2 Victors, their on stride skills, they stand things and give it +5, so what this is missing is the power boost. But I think this one, it does draw you an extra card, so you don't have to already have the rearguard on the field or call it from your hand already. You draw a card and you can call, you have to call something if you use this skill, which it's a little unfortunate if you already have a board, but it's good.
But at the same time, you also draw 1, so you're not really losing out on anything.
Yeah, exactly. You're keeping the same advantage that you would have, and it's still getting the one extra attack in. And you can choose any unit that hits. It doesn't have to be the one you call, so you can just target the best one necessary if you don't have a good thing to call from your hand.
So all in all, I'd say this is a really solid grade 3 for the deck, mainly for the first ability. And the second ability, it's nice to have, but it doesn't really make the card, I don't think.
I'd say the counter charge is way better than the soul charge. I can't remember, but I think in the G zone they have a G Guardian that does almost the same thing, but coupled into a grade 3 that you're always going to have, I feel like it's good. Even though it's like you're not going to use it all the time, it's handy when you're going to use it, and it also adds the extra draw power to the deck that you need if you want to get both skills off.
Right, it seems like they're really pushing for that draw card that you said that they were missing.
Yeah, they definitely need a lot more of that. But they're also promoting you going a lot more aggro. Like, it seems like they want you to use all of your counter charges and they want you to use all of your soul. That way you can just replenish it from your card's skills. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like Brave, where you go to as little as possible and you get it all back at the end of the turn.
Right. So,
want to rate the card now?
Yeah, I rate it like 7.
7?
7. I like it. I'm not too impressed with it. I think it's really fair.
Okay. I'm gonna call this card a 10 out of 10.
Ooh.
In my opinion.
Wow.
I think it's fantastic for the deck, but I can also see why people would still run the old Victors. All 3 choices for the grade 3 Victors are really good, in my opinion. One stands an entire column off of Soul Blast. One stands a unit and gives it plus 5k on swing. So this one is good for replenishing your resources, however, so all 3 of them have their perks.
Yeah, definitely all solid cards. Let's move on to the next card.
Yep, you can talk about this one.
Oof, I get to talk about the next card, which is the G-Rare. It's a Winning Champ Victor, and you can't go wrong with a name like
A
that.
much better name.
So this is obviously a grade 4. The first ability is an auto ability on the Vanguard Circle. You can Soul Blast 1 and choose a face down card from your G-Zone. It's going to face up, the usual. When one of your rear guards stands, you can pay the cost. If you do, that unit and this unit, which is a stride, get plus 5,000 power until the end of the turn. The second skill is a G-Break 3. At the end of the battle at this unit attack, you draw a card, choose one of your opponent's rear guards with the least power, and retire it. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the stride. Like I said, they're really pushing for that draw ability and all the cards.
Oh yeah, definitely. I personally think this effect's pretty mediocre.
Yeah.
Just for a GR, it doesn't seem
When I first read
that
it,
good.
I was kind of surprised by choosing one of your opponent's rear guards with the least power. I don't really know what they're going for.
They're trying. I think usually when you use this card, you're gonna hit a starter, but it's also GB3, so your opponent would use their starter by then. So you're gonna hit a grade 1, and not many grade 1s are that useful that stay on the board. So it's like you're getting the retire just to retire one. It's not really gonna influence the game that much.
I don't know, guys. To be honest, for the G-Rare, I think this is more of like a rare card ability. It's not
Yeah,
really that
it
crazy.
honestly is.
I mean, yeah, you get the free draw just for being a G-Break, and you get to retire a unit, but the retire is restricted to the unit with the least power, which doesn't really give you a whole lot of options. I mean, assuming at this point, when you're at GB3, your opponent's board is going to be mostly 90.
And you have way better strides to go into.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like there's that one stride that can restand itself as many counterblasts as you have and cards in your hand.
What I will say about this is that it would be a good first stride just for the first ability, where you Soul Blast 1 and you can stand a rear guard, give it plus 5 just for that push.
Well, you don't get to stand it, you just give it plus 5 when it stands.
Yeah, when it stands, which you can use one of the other cards.
I was actually going to mention that too. As a first stride, you could use this. The first stride that Victor uses now is an on-hit ability, so you just pick your poison at that point. It's if you want your card to hit, or you can get the extra pressure with this on a first stride. But if you're using this as a first stride and you still want the GB3, you're going to have to run more than one copy, and I just think this card is not that good. I think people will only run
well, I
one or
think
two.
coupled with the stride break from the Triple Rare Victor that we went over, where you can already choose one of your rear guards and stand it, then for that first effect it'll be pretty worth it.
Yeah, but the old Victor already gave it plus 5. So it's not that good.
Honestly, I'd give this card like a 5, 6 out of 10.
You give it a 5?
Yeah,
5, 6?
I really don't think that it's that great.
Yeah, me too.
It's not as great as it could be. The deck definitely deserves some more love because it hasn't gotten that much support in a long time.
The other support's pretty good.
What it has is good now, but it really hasn't gotten that much support in a long time. And who
Yeah.
knows, this is probably the last wave of Victor support since the new season of Card Fight's coming out after this.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know.
I'd give this card a 5 as well. I think you definitely want to use it. Just, I'd say to draw a card and retire something when it's necessary.
Right.
If you feel that it's necessary at all. Maybe there's an extremely situational situation where where your opponent only has grade 2s, and hey, getting rid of a grade 2 is good. If you could pick the card to retire, I feel like this card would
Honestly,
be like
I feel like
7.
that restriction wasn't necessary. It's not like it's super busted where you have to pick something and restrict what you can retire. Like, I don't know what they were going for with it.
Artwork's really cool though.
Yeah, hey, at least it doesn't unlock like every other card.
Yeah.
I mean, they have the G Guardian to do that.
So it's an option, but it's not really that good.
Yeah, so all in all, I'd say that the G-Rare, it's okay. Obviously, like, run it if you want. If you don't, then it's fine. The other stuff's pretty good too.
Yeah, like if you can't get the GR, I don't imagine this card being that
Believe
expensive.
it's a G-Rare, to be honest.
Maybe
yeah.
it'll be $10. I don't really know that much.
Second card, the Triple Rare Grade 3. It's a good card, don't get me wrong, but like Quinn said, the other options are really good too. It's kind of your playstyle choice affects which one.
The grade 1, however, you need that card.
The grade 1 is
Luckily,
really
it's
good
only a
for
rare.
sure.
That could be a double rare.
It honestly should have been. They could have been the G-Rare. No, out of this support that was announced, the grade 1 is really good, which makes me really excited to see the rest of the main deck support. The Stride was disappointing, and I'm hoping that maybe it gets something else to kind of balance that out. Maybe they're kind of teasing you with
We'll
this.
see. So far, this set doesn't have that much announced. This is like the first cards that are announced for is Nova Grappler support, so we'll see what else it gets in the set.
Wasn't there some leader support announced as well? Was
Two
that for this set?
leader cards.
Two
yeah.
leader cards and two dimensional police cards actually.
Yeah.
Which,
We'll have a whole set review once that comes out.
Right. Right now we're just covering the latest leaks that were announced as of last night.
Alright, so I think that's gonna wrap the video.
I think that wraps it up. So hopefully we can do more segments like this for future stuff that gets announced. To get
yeah,
some
it's been
insight.
pretty fun. Yeah.
I personally don't really know much about the Nova Grappler deck. I know it's a tough matchup from my experience, but hopefully the support gets it some more play.
So far, it looks like it's going to be a better deck than it was, because if they add more cards with draw power and they can draw a ton of cards per turn,
It seems like they're really
they're
trying
just
to fix
going to
the
go all
deck's
out.
weaknesses.
Yeah, definitely. I think they just want Bushiroad wants every deck to be good now.
Except for Link Joker.
Except for Link
because
Joker.
everything unlocks.
Alright,
guys, well, thanks for watching this latest installment of the Sharks News segment. We don't know what we're going to call it yet. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Quinn, anything else to say in closing?
No, just like the video if you want to see more card reviews, because we're probably going to do some more. But we just want to see what type of videos you guys like. Subscribe to the channel if you like any of our videos. We're pretty cool people.
Yeah, and I mean, you can admire a spinning Christmas tree here.
Yeah, we try to get good
Studio.
backgrounds. It's not a green screen. We're trying to get a green screen though.
That'd be pretty sick playing cards in like space.
Yeah. Green screen for the mats.
Oof, that'd be nuts.
Yeah.
Alright guys, thanks for watching.
Yeah,
That
that's gonna
wraps
wrap it up. Bye.
See ya.